he needs to be held accountable for just abandoning so many different projects.
Tonight, we continue our award-winning To Catch a Contractor series. Perhaps you've heard about a new state law that's supposed to help with the affordable housing shortage. It actually makes it easier to add an extra apartment on your property to rent. Boston even has a program that kicks in taxpayer money to help consumers get across the financial finish line. But when some homeowners out there hired a contractor to install what's known as an ADUS on their properties, they were stuck with long delays and unfinished projects.
And so they contacted our NBC 10 investigator Ryan Kath to find out what went wrong.
What's all this over here? It's a huge pile of dirt.
Not exactly how Jeff Klein and his wife Rachel envisioned decorating their basement a year after construction began at their Brighton home.
If you look around, there's supposed to be a bathroom here. There's supposed to be the kitchen here.
The couple applied for a City of Boston program that provides up to a $50,000 interest-free loan to help residents install accessory dwelling units or ADUs on their properties.
As a fine gardener, I have all my tools here.
The landscape designer and school teacher thought it sounded like a great way to generate some rental income or give their aging parents a place to stay during visits.
$50K goes a long way, in a project like this. We could do this, and it was really exciting.
The couple hired Derek Thomas of Incremental Developers, whose website portfolio boasted several completed ADU projects around Boston. And at first, Jeff says things were humming along as Thomas and his crews tackled demolition and framing.
So we gave them more money.
After the payment, how did the pace change?
It just stopped. It was so abrupt.
The couple had already sunk $78,000 into the project. And at one point, they say a plumber showed up to remove tools and equipment from the basement, saying Thomas hadn't paid him.
What was going through your mind?
We kind of knew, something's just wrong. Something's fishy.
I was like, oh, right, To Catch a Contractor.
Jeff reached out to the NBC 10 investigators, and we connected with Neil Silva and his wife, Sarah.
I feel conned. I feel robbed.
They also hired Thomas to construct an ADU at their Dorchester home.
Just the communication became more sparse and non-responsive.
Already more than $100,000 and several delays into the project, the parents of two kids handed over a payment for an electrical upgrade. That was more than a year ago.
We never heard from him again.
Just gone.
Ghosted. And I just feel overall just kind of angry and defeated that we still have no resolution to this at all.
It was horrible.
Retired Boston schoolteacher Rosalba Solis and her husband thought it was time to downsize from their Jamaica Plain home. So they decided to turn their garage into an ADU.
The guy was not answering no phones. You cannot find him nowhere.
Just like others, Rosalba says she ran into lengthy delays with her project. At one point, she even filed a police report when a subcontractor threatened to destroy the sheetrock work he'd done because Thomas hadn't paid him.
He is doing bad to all of us. This is a thief with a license.
The name of my company is Incremental Developers.
That's Thomas at a town meeting in Swampscott to discuss ADU projects last fall.
Have you done any work here in Swampscott yet?
Yes, so we've been through the permitting process.
What Thomas did not tell the audience is that homeowner had already sued him for the project. Instead of a backyard ADU, the customer says he paid more than $40,000 for this weed-filled hole.
Any success stories come to mind that are worth sharing with you?
Yeah, all of them.
We know that's not true, but why did all those projects we just showed you fall apart? This property in Salem might offer an important clue. Turns out Thomas purchased it in early 2023 as an investment. Permit records and rental listings show it's gone through significant renovations since then, even adding a basement ADU of its own.
I'm trying to think of some other great success stories.
There's now a lien on the property tied to that lawsuit in Swampscott, and customers believe money on their projects help pay for all the upgrades.
It's really frustrating to know that he's just, investing in his own properties and buying homes, and we're just sitting here trying to pay out of our own pocket to try to scrape and finish this project downstairs.
When we contacted Thomas, he declined an on-camera interview and through his attorney said the allegation that money from customers was used on the investment property is categorically false. In an email, Thomas faulted the ADU program in Boston, writing, "The permitting process in Boston is widely known to be unpredictable and slow, which often creates project delays, unexpected costs, and frustrated clients." Unfortunately, when city employees interfere with private contracts rather than sticking to their intended role, it only makes these challenges worse.
What do you two feel when you're down here?
I feel anger. I feel rage. I just want to punch a wall, but there's no walls.
Like other homeowners, Jeff and Rachel are now digging deep to pay another contractor to finish the job.
We're just really grateful that you all are doing these kinds of stories. We don't want anybody else taken advantage of in that way that we were taken advantage of.
A City of Boston spokesperson told me that taxpayer money is not issued for the ADU program until work is completed and has passed inspection. Because of Thomas's performance, the city says he would not be approved for future projects that involve public funding. Meantime, several customers have pending complaints against Thomas's home improvement contractor registration. Ryan Kath, NBC 10 Investigators.